The second episode of The Falcon and Winter Soldier came out yesterday, and I was planning on doing all these reviews on Fridays like I did for WandaVision, but then we had another trailer drop and the Snyder Cut. The way it all turned out, they're just coming on Saturday, at least for now. Maybe Friday, we'll just see how the rest of them go. But anyway, on to the episode. Once again, I'm going to be talking fully in spoilers here because there's a lot to talk about. This episode was really great. If you haven't seen the episode, as I said, spoilers, so click off. Definitely check this one out. This show is really great so far, but I love how these episodes are like 50 minutes long, whereas like the WandaVision ones, again, I feel like I have to keep saying this, I really loved WandaVision. I had problems, of course, check out those reviews linked down below, but they were really great. I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on WandaVision, because I'm not. Whereas for these ones, I think it works because they use better cliffhangers, they do all this, and it's paced so insanely well, but I like this episode actually better than the first one. The first one was amazing. Again, as I said, 4.5 out of 5 for that one. It was that great, but then this episode even improved on it because we get the opening and it has like John Walker, I think his name is, who's like the new Captain America, whatever. We see him at his old high school. He goes out, he's on Good Morning America, talks about all this stuff, and it almost seems like they want us to, like at the start, it seems like they want us to like sympathize? Yeah. But at the start, it seems like they want us to sympathize with him. But then as the episode goes on, you realize they don't want that. And really, this guy, I forget the actor's name, he's so great in this role. You hate this character so much. He's so good at playing like this douchey character, and it's really great. And then it goes on, and then we see like it goes to Bucky, and he just looks like so upset looking at the TV, seeing what they've done here. And then him and Sam meet up, and I was so glad to see Bucky and Sam together like already. And then in that, we have some scenes. We have some great action scenes and some great dialogue. Like they have amazing banter between each other, and as they're like seeing like there's a hostage, like when they're looking and guessing how many people are there, and then Red Wing flies in. It's funny, and then sadly they break Red Wing. So sad. And then they even name drop a bit because he's like, oh, you come out of Wakanda. What are you, White Panther? And he's like, no, White Wolf. What? And Sam's just like, what is happening? So maybe we'll see more of that in the future. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe he'll go from like Winter Soldier to White Wolf, but I doubt that'll happen. And I don't know how we'd all feel if that would happen. But anyway, we go on to this amazing action scene. Now, I'm not going to cover everything in this episode. We go into this amazing action scene that we saw a little bit of in the trailer, and it's like the whole 18-wheeler thing after Bucky just gets punched out of the thing, and then Sam flies in, and then they're kind of getting their asses whooped, and then Mr. John Walker, I can't even call him Captain America because obviously he's not the new Captain America, but not really, comes in, tries to help him, and with his buddy, I forget what his name is, and it looks like they're starting to win kind of. Sam and Bucky have this cool thing where Sam flies in and saves Bucky, and they just roll, and it's like the sweet romance moment. I really like that. And then the John Walker's buddy is thrown off, so he like throws his shield down to save him, but then they end up, all these people escape. I forget what the names of them are, like the villains, whatever. Anyway, and then they go along, and then John Walker and them are trying to get Bucky and Sam like to go in a car like on the way back to like the airport, and they just keep walking. I love how when they try to get them to stop, they just kept walking. They go in there, and then there's jokes about like them staring because Bucky's just staring at them. Anyway, it goes along, and then you meet Isaiah, who we've never heard about. I think Steve never knew about. Bucky didn't tell anyone about, who was kind of like a soldier who, according to his, I think he said like he kicked Bucky's ass in like 1940 something, 51 something like that. And then that scene gets really intense because this guy kind of starts getting reminded of all these things, and they use this amazing close-up, and like they use a different like lens, it seems, because the camera's so close to him, but it's like wide angle. It's really cool. And then we get some like social commentary basically that was extremely well done, where Bucky and Sam are walking down, and the cops just like pull up. They're like, is this man bothering you? And then Bucky's like, no. And then it's like, what is this about? All that, because the officer doesn't recognize that it's Sam, and even when he recognizes him, he's like, oh, I didn't recognize you without the goggles on. And then Sam kind of looks at him like, okay, why? And it was insanely well done. And then they're like, wait a minute, more cop cars pull up, and everyone's kind of watching. And then they realize that Bucky's a warrant out for his arrest. So he comes in, they kind of lock him up, whatever, because he wasn't going to therapy, something like that. And then they go in and they have that amazing kind of couples therapy moment that we saw a bit of in the trailer. And then it gets into like this amazing staring contest that was funny. But this episode really balanced tones well, because we have that, and then we have like this amazing line where it's like, why do you feel hurt or whatever, by like Sam. I know that's not the line, or something like that. Like the therapist asks, and then he said like, yeah, why'd you give the shield up? And then he says this incredible line where he's like, well, it feels like Steve was wrong about you, and if he was wrong about you, then it seems like he was wrong about me. And it was delivered much better than that, but it was insanely intense. Then they leave. They talk about not wanting to see each other again, and then when they go out of there, they see John Walker and his buddy again. They kind of just keep trying to get them to work with them, but then I think Sam says like, oh, we're free agents, like we're a lot more flexible. And then John Walker was like, okay, then stay the hell out of my way. And it's like, whoa, where did that come from? And then they talk about Zemo, and then it's like this awesome kind of, he goes through the jail cells, and then you see a shot of him through like the security camera, zooms up in his face, he looks up. End of episode. Incredible ending. Really sets up this episode well, and I thought that it was shot insanely well. The acting is just so like heartbreaking at times from Sebastian Stan, Anthony Mackie. These guys are just amazing. I'm really loving this show so far. I feel like it's only going to get better, and I was worried because I heard not everyone loved this episode, but in my opinion, it's better than the first one. I think it's going to be one of the best episodes. The action is amazing. The drama is real. They balance tones really well, and they even put in some social commentary that's just so well done. I'm going to give episode 2 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier a 4.5 out of 5. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with these villains, because they only, I think, gave 1 or 2 of them names, and it seems like maybe they'll tie in with Zemo or something. I'm interested to see what they'll do there, and I mean, I love how well these episodes are paced, because they're 15 minutes long. They fly by. They've been really enjoyable so far. But what did you think of this episode? Do you like it more or less than the first one? Let me know all that in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Over and out.